Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this new live stream on Woo English. I'm Hamza, and I will be your host for today's live session. So, welcome to this new live stream. I think it's the ninth live stream today. We will have a vocabulary session today, so we will learn some new vocabulary. And today's topic is actually how can we talk about our work? Okay, how can we talk about our work? So, as I wait for you guys to join, please don't forget once you join, don't forget to share with us your name and where you are joining us from. So, let us wait for you guys to join us. So don't forget to share with us your name, your country. I'm Hamza. I'm from Morocco, and today's session, as I said, will be about. So let me share with you the screen. It will be about talking about work. Talking about work. So how can we talk about our job? What can we say, or what are the different verbs, different expressions that we use? Okay, great. So I see more and more people have joined. So welcome to this live stream, guys. And very happy to see you today and to be your host for today's live stream. As I said, so today's live stream will be about talking about work. Like you can see on the screen, how can you talk about your work? What are some verbs we use? So it will be a vocabulary session. So let me know in the chat who is here with us. So share with us your name, share with us your country, where you are joining us from. And we will start in about 1 or 2 minutes. We will start. So let me just welcome people in the chat. Let me see who is here today. So, talking about work is the topic for today's live stream. So, maybe there is a delay between me and you guys. So, I will wait for you to join. Okay, where is everybody? Let me know in the chat. Okay, let's see the chat. Okay, great. So we have Nicola from Italy. Hello, Nicola, and welcome to the live stream. Very happy and very excited to have you with us. Who else is with us today? So we have Young from South Korea. Nice. This is the first time someone joins us from South Korea. Welcome, welcome, Young. Welcome to the live stream. Very happy to have you here. Hello, Roman. You are from Ukraine. Hello, Roman, and welcome to the live stream too. Okay, great. So I see new people are joining today, so that's very nice. So we are having new blood on the channel. So please don't forget, as you are watching the live stream, don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. We drop some very, very beautiful stories here at Woo English, and we believe that that's the greatest way to learn English. So we have Nicola so far, we have Young, we have Roman. So welcome, guys. One more minute, and we are going to start our live stream. So maybe 1 more minute. So I'm just giving time for more people to join and maybe interact with us a little bit. Hello, I see Artyom. Hello, Artyom, and welcome to the live stream. Great. Same here, Nicola. Same. We too are happy to have you among us. Okay, so maybe I think we can start. Okay, I think we can start the session for today. I think it's right time. All right, great. So 5 minutes just for the introduction and stuff. So maybe let me remind before we go and we dive into our session for today. So, welcome first to our YouTube channel, Wo English. This is a live stream, one of a series of live streams that we started having recently on our YouTube channel. Our live streams happen every Wednesday, like today, where we have a vocabulary session. And on Saturday, we have a grammar session. Okay. So, vocabulary on Wednesday, grammar on Saturday. Normally, we have sessions on at 3 p.m. GMT time. But today, we decided to start a little bit earlier. Okay. So, talking about work. So, my first question for you is what are some other words that we can use to say work? Okay, so we can say work, or what can we also say? So, what are some synonyms for the word work? So, let me know in the chat if you know any other words that mean work. There is one that is very famous. Maybe I will help you in the chat. So, it starts with a J. So, it starts with J. So, finish it. All right. Great. Artium got it. Okay, perfect. So we can say a job. So I can say my work is, or I work as, or I can say my job is. All right. So my job or my work. Nicola, same thing. So job. Perfect. So that's exactly it. Job. So do you know any more words for job or for work? So we can say work, we can say job. There is a ton of other words actually that we will discover today. So if you know any more, let me know in the chat. Okay, my job is absolutely. So young, we can absolutely say my work is or my job is. Perfect. There is actually another expression. We sometimes say I work as. All right. So I work as, and then you say what is your job. For example, I can say I work as a teacher. Wonderful. Great. Roman, I work as a teacher. So we can say, for example, I work as a teacher, all right? Or I work as an engineer in a small company. Great. So Roman added another nice and beautiful word, which is occupation. And this is absolutely true. So occupation is definitely another word that we can use to say work. So what is your occupation? Okay. What is your work? What is your job? What is your occupation? So what else? Do you know any more words? So job, so far we have seen 3. Major. Well, for major, Artsim, normally major, we don't say it about our work, but we say it about our study. What do we study? Okay, so if you are still studying, you are not going to say, I work as a student. Of course, we don't say that, but you can say, what is your major? What are you studying? So, for example, for me, my major is or was, because I finished my school, so my major was linguistics, for example. All right, so my major was linguistics, meaning what was I studying when I was at university? All right. Hello, Fatih. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. All right, so this is Young. He gave us an example. So I work for construction company as a PE. All right, I'm not sure about PE, the meaning of it. So if you can clarify it for me, I would be very thankful. What does that abbreviation stand for? Um, Great. So I will give you some more words. Remember that Roman gave us another word for work. So we can say work, we can say job, or we can say occupation. I will give you some more. So the other word is craft. Craft. And craft basically means any work that or where you use your hands. Okay, any work that use where you use your hands. All right. For example, or where you make things. Okay, you make things. So, for example, you can see a lot these words handcraft. All right, handcraft. For example, pottery, where they make glasses or they make cups. Okay, that's what we call pottery. It is a craft because you make things, you create things using your hands. All right, so this is what we call craft. Craft, I can give you an example. Carpenter is a craft. So for example, the person who made this is a carpenter. It's made of wood. All right, so it's a carpenter who made this, a carpenter or carpentry is a craft because they make things with their hands, like this one, like this box that I have here. All right, so whoever makes this, he is working or he has a craft for a job. All right, employ, great, fantastic, Nicola, absolutely. So employ, though, we need something else which is ment, so we can say employment. All right, so employment is the correct word. Okay, professional engineer, I see. So employment. For employ, it's actually the verb. It's the verb to employ someone. That is to say, to make someone work for you. We can also say labor. Labor. So labor very simply means, labor means any work that needs a lot of physical activity. All right, physical activity. So people, for example, who dig holes, or builders who build houses. All right, those are jobs or works or occupations that need a lot of physical effort, so we call them labors. Okay, labor. And also, by the way, so there is one day every year, I think, for here in Morocco, it's the 1st of May. All right, the 1st of May, where we celebrate people who work, and that's called Labor Day. Labor Day. Okay, let me write it. Labor Day. So it's a day where we celebrate work. So celebration of workers. So Labor Day. All right. It's a day where we celebrate workers all around the world. Okay, great. So let us see more words. Like Roman said, so we can say occupation. It simply means your job. What is your occupation? So, for example, Young said that he is an engineer, so his occupation is an engineer. We can also say career. Though career, it means your entire your experience at a certain job. All right, so I can talk about my career in teaching. My career in teaching is 5 years long, for example. So we can talk about our experience. So when we talk about career, we are not talking just about the title of our job, but we also mean how many years we have been working. Exactly, Artyom. So Labor Day, it's an international holiday. Yes, people don't work. They don't go to work. Employment. This is what Nicola said, I guess. Yes. So Nicola said employment. Absolutely. So employment also means job. We can also say position. Position. But position, for example, for me, it will sound a little bit odd if I say my position is a teacher. All right. Position, we say it more inside a company. All right, so what is your position inside the company? All right, so when there is a whole hierarchy, there is a manager, team member, there is an engineer, there is a department. So I can ask you, what is your position inside the company you are working on? Great. So it's a similar holiday. Okay, wonderful. I think because it's in the United States, I think in the United States it's celebrated on a different day. I think it's November. They don't have it on May, but they have it on. Great, yes, supervisor, for example, etc. Vocation is another word that means work. And finally, we can say profession. Okay, what is your profession? So once again, let us repeat these words. So you can repeat after me so that you can practice a little bit your pronunciation. So we can say work, Labor Day in the 1st of May. Okay, same, I think it's worldwide actually on the 1st of May. except probably for the United States, as far as I know, it's not on the 1st of May, it's on a different day. Fantastic. So we can say, so work, we can say job, we can say craft. So craft, we said work with hand, labor, it needs a lot of effort, a lot of physical effort. Occupation, career, employment, position, all right, vocation, and finally a profession. So all of these words, they mean the same thing, which is a job. I will show you now a picture with a lot of jobs, and your task is to tell me which jobs do you know. So I have a list of jobs here, so which ones do you already know? So let me see which ones can you guys recognize. Which jobs can you recognize? So if you know any one of those jobs, let me know in the chat. Hello, Mario. Hello. I remember you from last session. Welcome to this live stream. So Mario, maybe just let me remind Mario and anyone who has just joined today, we are talking about work. So how can we talk about our work? How can we talk about our job? Previously, we saw different words that mean job. Okay. So for example, these are some words. You can find them later in the recording of this audio or this live stream. I'm a seller. So for Nicola, he or she is a seller. Well, we can say seller, or we can say I'm a salesperson. All right, salesperson. Oh, sorry, there is a mistake. Sorry for that. Salesperson. Okay, salesperson. This is the correct one. So when you sell something, this means that you are working as in sales. Great. So for young, Nicola, pay attention. I'm talking about the pictures on the screen. So if you recognize the works on the screen, so we have doctor, fireman, carpenter. Great. Though I don't see a carpenter. Maybe it's the one behind my camera. So carpenter. That's not a carpenter actually. That's the person who fixes water. So that's a person who fixes your water at home. Teacher, great. So let me see. Artyom, so teacher, cleaner, great. Artist, police officer, businessman, wonderful. Mario, so doctor, fireman, handyman. Nice word. Painter and the businessman. Fireman, great. Pilot, yes, maybe that's a pilot, great. And the fireman. So let me tell you something in English that you should know. So in English, in some jobs, there is no difference between a man and a woman. For example, a teacher can be a man or can be a woman. So a woman, female teacher, male teacher. However, for other jobs like policemen, for example, policemen. So we have policemen and policewoman. So let me write them both, policeman and policewoman. So to avoid this confusion between policeman or policewoman, so what did the Americans or the English do? They simply say police officer. So police officer, it's for both man and woman, all right? So policeman for men, policewoman for women, but if we want to refer to both, we can say police officer. There is a similar word that I heard a lot of times here, which is a fireman. Fireman. Let me fireman. So fireman, the same thing. So a lot of people say, hey, yes, we call them firemen in the past, but right now there are also fire women. So how can we solve that? We say now firefighter, right? Firefighter. So instead of fireman, firewoman, right now, the more acceptable or the most acceptable form is firefighter. So they fight fire. Because even the word fireman, It sounds like they are the one who start the fire. Okay. Nilufar, hello and welcome to the live stream. Um, so welcome, Cooker. Cooker. Okay, fireman, doctor, cooker, builder, science person. Great. I really like these words that you guys are introducing. So I will share with you the words from. Okay, let me see. Sales assistant. Great. Nice. Um, Okay, so I will tell you what are the words one by one. You got most of them correctly. So the first one, like you guys said, is a teacher, all right? Mostly a geography teacher. Second one, art team, I think got it. It's a cleaner, all right? Cleaner, or also we say cleaning person or cleaning lady, all right? Cleaning lady. So teacher, cleaning lady, all right? Cleaning lady. I'm writing them in the chat. The next person, I agree with I think Nicola, who said that this is probably a pilot, but also maybe he is just a driver. A driver, he drives a car. For example, taxi drivers. In some cities, taxi drivers they wear a uniform, so we say uniform. Or a postman, absolutely. So a postman, yes, maybe he works for the post office. So uniform. A uniform is the special clothes that certain jobs wear. For example, police officer. A police officer, they can't work with just like a random t-shirt or a shirt like I am, all right? So they have a uniform. So uniform are the special clothes for a specific job. Same thing for firefighters, for example. They have a unique. Hello, hello. I see someone joining from Ukraine, if I remember well, but I unfortunately forgot the name. So the person with the wolf on the avatar. Great. So we said maybe he is a driver, maybe he is a pilot. The next person we can say a painter, or a painter or an artist. All right. So we can say just simply say an artist. Okay. So a painter or an artist. We have a police woman. So we said policeman for male, policewoman for female. But if we want to avoid this, we can say police officer. Police officer. Let me share it with you. In Italy, the fireman is the same for male and women. I see, I see. All right. It's different from one language to another. It's the same for English, for example, for some jobs, they don't have male or female. So, for example, uh, um, teacher, it's men and women. All right. It's both. Hello, Coco. Hello, hello. And welcome to the live stream. So, I said to police officer, all right, to avoid the confusion. Okay, police officer. The next person, businessman. Again, there are also business women. So businessman, businesswoman. We can say business person. The other man. So the other man, or the one beneath or below the teacher, is someone who fixes your water. He fixes your water. I saw in the chat, I can see carpenter, but carpenter, not really. Carpenter, they work with wood like this. So this is wood. So carpenter, they work with wood. But that does not, he does not work with wood. He is working with water actually, and pipes, and all sorts of water equipment. So what can we call him? Any idea? Let me know in the chat. Labor, not really. Art team. So labor is any job that needs physical activity. All right, physical activity. We can say that this job is within labor. Well, we could say labor, but the title is not labor. It's not labor. Great, 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 great. I have the answer by Mario. Though Mario, what you need to do is to remove men. Remove men. So we don't say plumber man. We simply say plumber. All right. We simply say plumber. Let me write it for you. So we simply say plumber. But please pay attention to the pronunciation. We don't pronounce the B. Please try to pronounce it at home. So at your home, try to pronounce it. It's not plumber, it's plumber. Plumber without the B. So we don't pronounce the B. So plumber. Great. So the next person, we said he is a firefighter. In the past, we used to call them fireman, firewoman. So fireman, firewoman, but now they call them firefighter. All right, firefighter. The next person is a doctor. Doctor. Okay, doctor. And the next one, I saw Artyom say it's the other person is a cooker. So the verb, I agree with you, Artyom, is to cook. All right, the verb is to cook when you prepare your food. So we can say cook. All right, but for this person, it's not a cooker actually. Let me see if I can find a cooker. Let me see. Okay. Let me see if I can find a cooker. So we can say a chef. All right, chef, chef, chef is correct. Chef. So we can say she is a chef, or we can say not cooker but a cook. All right, a cook. Let me see if I can find a cook. All right, no, I can't find it. So this is basically a cook. Baker, absolutely. Baker, yes. So a cooker is where we put the food, where the food, when we want to prepare the food, we put it in that utensil, in that metal thing. All right, that metal thing is the cooker. All right, it's the place where we put the food when we want to prepare it. So don't you ever call someone you are a good cooker. We say you are a good cook. All right. So the verb is to cook, and the person is a cook. Also, we can say chef. Um, so we can say server to some extent. We can say server and baker. Just pay attention to baker. It's like this. So baker, yes, baker, especially for someone who prepares cookies, prepares bread. This is basically a cooker or a baker. Great. So the next person indeed, so he is an engineer. An engineer for the next person with the helmet on his head, though just we need to pay attention for the way it is written. This is normally how we write engineer. So like this. So he is an engineer. Or we can also say for people who build or who design houses, so we can say he is an architect. Architect. So engineer, they build a lot of things. They can be also computer engineer, but for people who build houses, all right, we call them architects. For the last person, I see that Mario is saying this is a biologist. Sure, I completely agree with you. Biologist, or we can simply say scientist. Scientist. All right, scientist. Indeed, great. So Baker Street in Sherlock Holmes, absolutely. All right. So scientist. So maybe the last person is a scientist. So scientist can be a physicist, a chemist, or a biologist. Great. So these were some examples of jobs. All right. What we are going to do next, we are going to see some more vocabulary related to jobs and work. All right. And I'm going to show you pictures, and I want you to tell me what do we call that. Laboratory, indeed. So laboratory, but Mario, we don't say laboratory worker, we say laboratory technician. All right, technician. So most people who work in laboratories, they are technicians. Fantastic jobs, guys, for this first activity. You did great. So, all right. So, what do you see in this picture, and what are these people doing? And of course, what is the word that we are or we need to use here? So, what do you think these people are doing? And I think this is something that all of us do every day. So, let me know. Where are they? Where are they? There are three guys, absolutely, Mario. So, where are they? Where are they? Anyone? All right. Sure, I will wait. I can wait. Sure. They are okay. Great. Wonderful. Now we are talking. So they are on a train or on a bus or on a metro. Yes. So great. They are on a bus. So we say on a bus. All right. On a bus, like Mario. In the subway. Absolutely. So if it's under the ground, we say on the subway. So they are on the subway. They are on a bus. They are on a train. By the way, so for both Mario and the other guy, so we say on the bus, on, not in. All right, so on the bus. So when we go to our work and we come back from our work, so we can go by car, or we can go by bus, or we can go by train. What do we call this journey, this trip? Yes, all of them they have masks on. It's totally fine, Nicola. So thank you for being here. And fantastic, someone, Son Jian. So thank you so much. Absolutely. The word we are looking for is commuting. Commuting. All right. So commuting is when you go to work and when you come back from work. So that trip by the train or by the car or by the bus. So we call that commuting. So again, so when you go to work and come back, we call that commuting. Let me give you an example. When I want to go to work, I commute by train. I commute by train, or I commute every day to work. So I don't work from home. I need to commute. All right, I need to commute. Indeed. So most people they use public transportation or public transport for commuting. Great. It's not very expensive and also it's kind of environmental friendly. Great. So the first word is commuting. The second picture or the second word. So this is something that you do. So when you apply for a job, so when you apply, you give them your CV. All right. So you give them your CV and they call you and they ask you some questions. So you sit in front of a person, they keep asking you some questions to see if you are good for the job or not. All right. So what do we call that activity? So again, so when you are accepted, they call you and you sit in front of the manager mostly and they keep asking you some questions to see if you are good for the job or not. What do we call that? All right, great. So San Juan or San Jian is on fire today. Great. So he says interview or she says interview. A job on interview. Great, Mario. Fantastic. All right. Any more suggestions or any more guesses by you guys? I have the same, almost the same answer, so I can introduce the word, and you are absolutely right. Interview, or like Mario said, a job interview. A job interview. So it's when you sit in front of a person or in front of the company manager, and they keep asking you some questions to see if you are good, if you have the qualities they are looking for, to see that if you are good for them, good for their company. If you are accepted, if they accept you, what is the word that we use if they accept you? So they say, well, this is a very good person. This is a very good candidate. What do we call that? So they say, welcome to our job. What is the verb that we use? Any idea? So when you sit for a job interview, you are sitting in the job interview, they like you, they like your CV, they like your experience, and they said, hey, we want you to work for us, or we want you to work with us. What is the verb that we can use? The right person, sure, the right person. So they chose the right person, but there is a verb, okay? There is a verb that we can use. There is a verb. Anyone? I will share it right now. Okay, I will share with you. So it's to hire, all right? So if they like you, they will hire you. And hire means that you become part of the company. So you are accepted in the company, you start working with them. So I can say, let me give you an example. I did very well. I did very well in the job interview and I was hired, okay? Or the company hired me. This means that they welcomed me to the company and now I'm working with them, all right? Because when you are in the job interview, you are not working with them. They are just testing you, all right? Oh, fantastic. So sometimes a manager and in a manager and the customer. Yes. So not manager and customer, but more like a candidate. So customer is someone who wants to buy, but a candidate or a an interviewee is someone who wants to work for your company. All right. So who wants to work for the company. Next picture is if you are working for a job, if you are working for a job, okay, and you are doing very well, you are good at your job, you always do your projects, you work very hard, and they say, hey, you deserve more money, you deserve more money, and you are no longer a team manager, now you are a company manager. So when you move from one position to a higher position, what can we call that? So let me repeat. So if you are working with a company and you are doing very well, you are hard working, you work very hard, you are never late, and they say, thank you so much, you are doing great. Here is more money for your salary. Here is more money. And also, you will no longer be a team manager, you will be a manager, a company manager. So you will go to a higher level. Yes, so they are greeting each other, but also he is giving him more money. So one of them is the company owner. So what do we say? War. I'm not sure about war. Work, is that word? Maybe you are missing something from the word. Maybe I should give you the words. Actually, there are two words here, two words that I want to introduce. So the first word is to get. Oh, great, fantastic, great. Now we are talking. So promotion, yes. So you will get a promotion. Welcome him to the company. Great. So that's hiring. But the word I'm looking for is when you are already working for the company. So you already are working for the company, all right? Great, fantastic promotion. Yes, wonderful. So you guys got it. Yes, work partners, sure. But the word I'm looking for is promotion, to get promoted. So when you work very hard, and you go from one position, so you are working here, but in the future you will be working here. All right, so you will go up. All right, so you were just a worker, now you are a manager. So we say get promoted. Get promoted is when you go to a higher position. Um, the other word, of course, when you go to a higher position, when you get promoted, you receive more money. You receive more money. We call that a raise. A raise. All right. So a raise is when they give you more money. They say, okay, your salary is $1,000. From now on, you will get $1,500. So your salary is more. So this means that you got a raise, all right? You got a raise or you received a raise. There is a tiny mistake there. Actually, we don't use the verb to be with a raise. Sorry for that. We don't use verb to be. Hello, hello. Well, Ferriera, hello and welcome. The increased, great, exactly. So this is what I wanted to say. So for Mario, thank you for the help. So we say they increased his money. So now he gets a higher salary. Nice. Okay. What about this? So maybe they don't like you. So they don't like you. You are always late. You don't work very well. You don't finish your job. Your projects are not finished. They say, hey, We don't want you to work for us anymore. Please go away. We don't want you. All right. And they kick you out. What do we call that? What do we call that? To dismiss. Wonderful. Wonderful, Artyom. Yes, we can say to dismiss. Absolutely. So you are dismissed. So they can tell you, we are sorry to let you know, but you are dismissed. You are dismissed. Okay. So dismiss, this means that we don't want you to work for us anymore. You should go find another job. What else? There is an easier word, actually. There is an easier word. Okay, I will wait. It's a very known word. Donald Trump, by the way, was very known for saying that word. Great, 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 great. This is the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Mario. So we can say fired. Well, Artyom. So when you leave, this means that you leave. You decided to leave. All right. We will see what we call that later. There is a word for that. When I decide to leave my work, that's one word. But when the company, when your worker or your boss, when your boss says, "Hey, go away," it's not to leave. That's okay. I like this word, loser. Well, maybe sometimes not everybody who is fired is a loser. So he is fired. So let me give you these two words: to be hired, to join a job, and to be fired is to lose your job. So let me give you these two words: to lose, okay, to lose your job. Okay. So I have two words for you, two words for you. So when we say they are very similar, to hire someone or to be hired, this means that you start working for someone, okay? You start working. But when you say to be fired, it's the opposite. So when you lose your job, okay? When you lose your job. So what are the words? Of course, we said to be or to get fired, okay? And we can also say to be sacked or to be dismissed, like Artyom said. So all of these words are used to say to lose your job, okay? To lose your job. Let me give you an example. I can say John always came late. Always came late. See, he is always late. All right, he is always late. So his company fired him. Fired him. They said, "Okay, we don't want you to work for us anymore." Let us look at the next picture. So what do you see in the picture? Basically, so I will explain to you this picture so that we don't waste a lot of time. So basically, this picture, this is when someone is new in a company and someone else is teaching him his job. So he is teaching him. They show him, "Hey, you should do this, you should do that. This is what we do in this company. This is how we work." Okay, so what do we call this kind of people? Or what do we call that? So when they are teaching you, when you are new in a job and they are teaching you your job, so what do we say? Okay, I will wait for your answers. Wonderful, fantastic, great. They are training you. Great, they are training you. There is another word, actually. There is another word that we can use. So we can say training. Completely agree with you, Mario. So I'm training. I'm not a worker. I'm not an employee. I'm still training. I'm still training. She is training him. Indeed, yes, she is training him. Yes. We can also say there is another word that we can use. Anyone? Okay, I will give you the words. I will give you the words. One of them already was shared by Mario, so we can say internship, internship, all right? And we can say training. So both these words mean the period of time where you are just learning about the job. So you are just learning. So I can say internship and training. Though there is a difference actually between the two. So when we say internship, it's related to education. So sometimes in some majors, when people are studying, a part of their job is to join a work for like 6 months or something, and then they go. But for training, you are training to start working for the company. All right. There is a tiny difference between the two, but they are very similar. What do you think this is? So, this is a type of job. This is a type of job. All right. So this is when you don't work from 9 to 5. This is when you work just for like 3 hours or 4 hours, and that's it. So when you work just a part of the day, okay? Or this is also for some students. There are some students, they are studying, they go to school, and then when they finish school, they go to work, okay, for 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours. What do we call this kind or this type of jobs? So this is a job. Great, Artyom. Wonderful, wonderful, great. So we say part-time job. Great, part-time job. So a part-time job is a job where you don't work the whole day. You just work for like 2 hours, 3 hours, okay? And mostly it's your second job, or if you are studying, you are studying and working at the same time. All right. So you are working and studying at the same time. All right. And this is absolute. So a part-time job. Part-time job. What about if you work all the day? Great. Part-time job. Great. It's double T. Double T. You need two T, Mario, but your word is correct. It's a part-time job. What about if you work all the day? If you work from 9 to 5, 9 to 5, what can we call that kinds of jobs? Where are the people of Facebook? I see that you are liking this video, but I don't see you interacting with us. Please feel free to share with us your comments in the comment section on Facebook. And while I wait for you guys to share with me the word, please don't forget to share and like this video, share it with your friends. And of course, if you are not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Full-time job by Artyom, same thing for Mario. Full-time job is when you work 8 hours, and I completely agree. It's a full-time job. Awesome. So part-time job, you don't work all the day. You work just 4 hours, 3 hours, and full-time job is when you work all the day. All right, it's a long, long hours. This is when there is a work. When there is a work, and for example, there are groups. Okay, there are groups of people. One group work from 9 to 3, another group work from 3 to 7, another group work from 7 to 9, for example. So there are different people taking turns on the jobs. What do we call that? Or sometimes there are some jobs that a group of people work during the day and another group work during the night. So what do we call these types of job? Full-time job, yes, for the previous one. Sure. So what do we call jobs where there are different groups of people and they take turns? All right, they take turns. So one group works in the morning, one work at night, and then from the morning and then at night. So they are always working. What do we call that period of time where they work? Anyone? Anyone? All right. Maybe I'll give you the word. So we call them shifts. All right, shift. So for example, if there is a store, for example, a shop, okay, and that shop works 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days per week. So 24 hours, 7 days. So they are always open. Of course, there is no person who can work 24/7 all the time. So there are people who take turns, okay, who take turns. So each turn is called a shift. Is called a shift. like what we see on the screen. So each one of those colors is a shift. So there are people, for example, who work from 12 to 9. There are people who work from 9 to 6, then 6 to 3, and then 3 to 12, and it goes on, right? So we call those uh, shifts. Yes. Great. So sometimes, especially for women and now even for men, so when a woman gives birth, when she has a baby, of course she cannot go to work because she had a baby. What do we call that period of time where a new mother, someone who has just become a mother, don't go to work? What do we call that period of time? Do you guys have any idea? So sometimes they give them a small vacation, maybe I think 3 months, 3 months or 4 months. So when she has just given a baby, what do we call that period of time? What do we call that break? Let me know. All right. I'm not sure if the words are difficult for you guys, but I don't see as much enthusiasm today in the chat. Maybe the words are a bit difficult, but that's totally fine because we are learning it here. All right. And of course, if you have any questions, maybe there is something that you want to know. How do we say it in English? Please leave it for me in the chat. If there is anything related to your job that you want to know in English, uh, uh, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Incapacitated, right? Incapacitated. It's not the word I'm looking for. Okay, this is the word I'm looking for. Absolutely. Great. So it's a maternity leave, all right? Maternity leave. Again, so maternity leave is when a woman gives birth, so she has a baby, all right? She was pregnant and she has a baby, and now she has a vacation because she has a baby. We call it maternity leave, maternity leave. And I think even fathers, they have it now. So even fathers. So fathers, because they need to help the mother in the first few months. So also for them, they have what we call paternity leave. All right, paternity leave is for the men. So the men, they have paternity leave. All right, so maternity leave for the woman and paternity leave for the men. What about this one? So if you are sick, so if you are a mother, you take a maternity leave. And if you are sick, what do you take? That small vacation that you have when you are sick. What do we call it? Anyone? It's very similar to maternity leave. It's very similar to maternity leave. So we say maternity leave for a woman who gave birth, and okay, maybe we can add three more. Okay, anyone knows what do we call this? So if you are sick and you don't go to work, of course, if you are sick, don't go to work. Be nice to yourself. Don't go to work if you are sick. Okay, great, great. I really like this word. So by Rouge, so sick leave. I really like the word. I know what you mean, but that's not how we write it. You have the correct word. Sick days. I completely agree with you, Mario. We can absolutely say I'm taking some sick days. Yes. Or like San Juan or Hian said, sick leave. Great. And that's the word I'm looking for. So it's a sick leave. So when you become a mother, maternity leave. When you become a father, paternity leave. When you become or when you are sick, you take a sick leave. All right. They are all vacations, small vacations that you take for special conditions. I will give you another word. So what do we call the money? The money that they give you at the end of the month. So at the end of each month, of course, we look forward to receive that small amount of money that we received. What do we call that? What do we call the money that your company gives you at the end of the month? Is there a name for that? So, anyone? Wonderful, Artyom. Yes, salary, salary, absolutely, salary. Let me see, Mario, salary. Wonderful. Do you know, guys, any other words for salary? Are there any other words for salary? I completely agree with you. So salary is there. Paycheck, I really like this. So to receive your paycheck, this is another word. Thank you, Mario. Absolutely. So to receive your paycheck or to receive your salary. What else? Sometimes we can also say this word, income. All right, income. Though income, it means all the money you receive. For example, there are people who have two jobs. So one salary, two salaries. The total is your income, everything that goes into your account from different places. That's your income. All right, that's your income. So income is all the money that comes to your bank account at the end of the month or at the end of the year. So we call it income. There is another word actually that we can use sometimes. It's wage. All right, wage. And please pay attention to the pronunciation. Wage. All right, wage. Fantastic, fantastic. Really, I'm really okay. So okay. Earlier we said that if the company says, hey, we don't like you anymore, we don't want you to work for us anymore, you are a very bad employee, they will fire you. All right, or the as our team said, they will dismiss you. All right, so fire, dismiss, or to sack. How about when you decide to go? It's not the company. You say, hey, good morning, Mr. Director. I found a better job. I found a better job with a more salary, and I want to go. So, what do we call this, or what is the verb that we use? Of course, we don't say run away. Run away, though we'd like to run away from our jobs sometimes. But there is another word actually that we use, and it's not run away. Quit. Great, great. So, but without the E, all right? So, without the E, quit. Great, quit. Mario, fantastic. Okay, any more suggestions? So for Mario, he says quit. There is one more word that we can use. So let me see. Any more words? Oh, great, great. Now this is correct. Yes, to quit. Yes, to quit your job. So absolutely to quit your job. Great. There is another word that we can use sometimes, which is to resign. All right, to resign. So both of them, they mean the same thing. They mean that you decided to leave your job. You don't work. You don't want to work there anymore. So you quit your job or you resign. We can also sometimes say to leave your job, like Artyom said before. So I will finish here. I think I don't want to bombard you with more vocabulary. I will stop here. What I want you to do now is to share with me your jobs in the chat. Let me know what kind of professions do we have here in the chat today. So, for example, I am a teacher, and I am also an artist. Okay, I am a teacher, and at the same time, I am an artist. Okay. So for me, I am a teacher, I am an artist, I paint. What about you guys? What about you? So what are your jobs? I remember one of you, I think it was Young, said that he or she is an engineer. What about the rest of you guys? New comments are here. Hairdresser. Interesting. Very interesting job, actually, Mario. Interesting. So, hairdresser. Interesting. Wow. All right. So, great. Maybe if someday I'm in your country and I need a haircut, I will absolutely pay you a visit. Software engineer by Alex. So, Alex is a software engineer. Wonderful. So I really like that we have different profiles here, and we are all here learning and enjoying our time together. That's fantastic. So we have artists, teachers, engineers, a hairdresser, Mario. Any more jobs? Let me see. Of course, yes. Hairdresser is someone who makes or cuts people's hair and dresses it. Yes. Okay, so maybe I will take a couple of more jobs and then we can finish the live stream. So let me see if there are more jobs to be shared. Anyone else want to share with us his or her job? Or that's all? Don't hesitate. Share with us what you do or what you do for a living. All right, so I think that's all we have to share today, probably. Okay, so I think that's that. So great, thank you guys for being here. Um, all right, so that's it for today's session. So I hope you enjoyed the session and you learned something about how can we talk about different things related to work or jobs. Maybe I do delivery. Okay, great. Art sim, is that it? So delivery, is that it? Delivery. So let me know. I'm not sure about those emojis. I'm not the best when it comes to emojis. All right, maybe she does delivery. Great. All right. Okay. Great. So delivery. Okay. Great. Wonderful. Interesting. Okay. So Artium does delivery for some company. Okay. So biker. No, she said that she does delivery because there is a box actually. So it's delivery. It's delivery. All right. Great. So I hope you guys enjoy today's live session. I hope you learned something about how tour guide. Fantastic. Wonderful. Tour guide. Great. Probably. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. I really like that. Tour guide. So maybe you guys just didn't have like and of course, if you want to see, so I said before that I'm an artist, I'm a teacher. If you want to see my art, you can join me on Instagram. I just shared with you my art. So I shared my art there. If you want to enjoy, if you too like art, pay me a visit there and maybe give me your feedback about my art. Other than that, thank you so much, guys. Maybe we can do some more sessions about work in the previous weeks. If you have any topics, please leave them in the comments under the video later on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share my or to join me on my personal YouTube channel. You will find it in the description under this video. Thank you so much. I will see you on Saturday for a grammar lesson. All right. And until then, thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and enjoy your week. Thank you and goodbye.